Greetings, this is Warrior King, and the time has come for the lions and the lioness to tell their own story. This is the lion's voice. Give thanks and praise for the wonderful blessing that's been poured on me. Give thanks and praise. Jah use I as an instrument to set the people free. Jah give her the power to chant. Jah give her the power to chant. Rastafari, the lion's voice.
I'm Nana Farika. The time has come for the lioness to tell her story from her viewpoint and tell the world who Queen Omega is. This is the lion's voice.
Well, that was always part of the mission in regards to doing events.
Okay.
What I learned more and more is that different type of events. You have big events like this, and you have more intimate events, what you would call like a class or a session for adults and children. But this is just part of the mission in regards to expanding the brand. It's not just a YouTube channel. We have access to all these great minds that we had great conversations with. Due to how we conduct ourselves, they respect us and they're willing to work with us. So we just bring them all together and present information, to people and bring them. Also, too, it's a nice gathering too because you're able to be in an environment with like-minded people, and I feel it's a great building tool for a lot of people too. Gives them encouragement, give them that inspiration that they need to move to a higher level of consciousness and get encouragement to apply the things they've been learning and the information they've been gathering.
And you have a very unique mix of panelists, a big Trinity Motor, Styles P, Nori Muhammad. How did you land on those three, based on the thousands of thought leaders that you have interviewed? How did you land on those three? I don't think they've ever shared a platform together.
No, never. And I know people feel away because they weren't invited. It wasn't nothing personal, Fire. I just try to bring in the greatest level of diversity I could, and I think I was able to do that because Muda, first of all, Fire, Muda, man, don't really, So just to get Muda up here, he's been a great inspiration for me too. So
yes, sir.
Muda reached. I'm so glad he came. Nori Muhammad, a student minister to Louis Farrakhan, Nation of Islam, Styles P, in the hip hop realm and that. Because what I notice is that, and what I observe is that we're so segregated on all aspects of the culture, whether it's toxic or consciousness. And I felt that I was able to do it on the channel to bring people from all backgrounds, all ideologies. So I said, let's try to do it in person. And we just give thanks that people came, because even you're another dear Rastafari brethren, Lawrence Ige is a Christian brethren, Dr. Dorothy, she's from Baltimore. She's a therapist. So everything has that diverse background, and hopefully it encourages people to work with people who, necessarily don't share all the same beliefs, but we can still work together for the bigger mission,
Well, lion voice, tell them that's the people first choice. Lion voice, make the lioness them feel nice. Lion voice, with the lion cubs we sacrifice. Lion voice, got to show the people them the life. Lion voice.
Come be a part of history and experience the sharing of wisdom from some of the most brilliant thought leaders in our community. Come see Muda Baruka, Styles P, Nori Muhammad, Lawrence Haja, Dr. Dorothy Holly, Dejaz Mach Kwasi, Deborah Hines, and Midwife Asasia impart their wisdom at Groundings with My Brothers and Sisters, a holistic health conference. A plant-based breakfast and lunch are included. Looking forward to seeing you there.
Them could never conquer the mountains. Thousands of years and counting. Ethiopia rise again unto the world. Now we are announcing Them a plan for war, we a plan for peace. And now we see them wanna go dismantle the base. When the trumpet sound and the violence cease, how we say one go build up the cities. Well, them a plan for war, we a plan for peace. And now we see them wanna go dismantle the base. Rastafari crown as the Prince of Peace. Him tell the youths them fi build up them countries. Well, solar energy that them a see. The whole city powered by the sun's energy. The road them make out of hemp and concrete. Neighborhoods full of fruit trees that taste sweet. The youths put down them guns, them harvest and a reap. The beautiful gardens will line every street. Tired of the bloodshed, them done with the beef. Not even animals feed them burn out the meat. Where people say Haile Selassie, I see Nile. When they see say him a treat the dirt like a child. Peace and
Greetings in that divine name of His Imperial Majesty, Emperor Haile Selassie I. Glory and honor in the name of his chosen queen, Empress Waziri Menen. My name is Kwasi Bansu, aka the Chazmatch Kwasi, aka Ras Kwasi, aka the Reading Ras, aka the Pan-African Happy Man, creative industry attorney. I'm an artist, I'm an author, I'm an actionist, and right now I am the host of a special presentation of the Lion Talk. We have a very special guest, special presentation. Big things are going on. Not only are we the fastest growing Rastafari platform on the internet, we have established a network of other content creators that we are rising with. And one of the major platforms, and many of the items have come here through this platform that we have to acknowledge is I Never Knew TV. This platform is changing lives when we talk about content, truly Pan-African platform where, I mean, when you look at their content, Jamaicans, African Americans, you know, people, continental Africans, there's probably no other Pan-African channel of that size that is so diverse into really highlighting a true Pan-African fan base. Not only does the platform have over 600,000 subscribers, but it's generating millions of views every strong, and that is based off of no controversy. Well, I wouldn't say no controversy, but no mix-up, you know what I mean? Because, you know, a lot of people, Black consciousness is controversial. But it's a powerful platform. I'm very honored. Brother, if you may have seen him on this platform. If you haven't, I would say go forward and watch that interview. Junior from I Never Knew TV is our guest today. And I'm telling the item that it's an honor because I've learned so much from this brethren, even though he's younger than I, you know what I mean? And he sat with I, he's learned from I've learned from him. So it's a mutual admiration society, I tell the item. Very quickly, before we bring in I Never Knew TV, we're going to talk about this revolutionary, groundbreaking conference. You've seen I've been running the ads in front of the promotion. So we're going to talk about why this conference, what is the outcomes, what does he hope to accomplish, you know, what are going, why did he put the Chazmatch on a panel? We want to know that too. So we're going to talk about all that. But before I do that, I have to big up the Lion Pride. If this is your first time to the platform, welcome. How do you become a part of the Lion Pride? If you subscribe, you are part of the Lion Pride. We are over 7,000 strong. Right now, we're averaging over 1,000 every 7 to 8 days. So I have to big up the African continent is driving the growth. So I want to big up all of my Kenya family, big up all of the Libya family, big up all of the Ghana family, South Africa, Uganda, me city I them, same way. We are doing this to reach that family. So it makes my heart feel warm to see the item. I want to see more comments though. You know what I mean? I need to see some flags in the comments. I need to see what the item are dealing with in terms of where you're watching from, what you think, because we want to create a living, breathing ecosystem. We're not just trying to have these cold numbers and we feel nice because we have numbers are coming. No, we want interact with people out there. The time for connection is now. I'm a Gideon. You know how we feel about it. So tap in all of the Lion Pride. Big up Ubuntu. Lion Pride, them watch and peep Lion Pride. The whole settings. Big up on yourself. Ramia King Design. Raslage, you don't know. Big up yourself. When you see me a sip, is a Rastafari own business. So we are living what we're talking about. Big up Wale King's CMAS Life, the greatest CMAS drink that we have encountered. And if you're a small business, Rastafari business, and you want to advertise with I reach out because we're building and we can rise together. All right, housekeeping out of the way. I want the item to help to welcome a warm Lion Pride welcome. I want to feel some love in the comments. This brethren, his voice is a celebrity. This brethren can walk up and down anywhere he want to go. But his voice, once him talk, everything mash up for him because the voice, you heard the voice, the platform is so massive. I have been recognized in the airport, walking through, not because of Lion Voice Network, but because of brethren see me on this brother platform. So as I say, it's an honor and a privilege to welcome here with us Junior, the ballad from I Never Knew TV. Welcome, my brother.
Fire, what are you saying? It's a joy and honor to be on the Lions Voice Network, and this bridger here hyping up the thing far right because he consult me way more than I consult him. So I just want to make that clear. You're hyping up. I know you got hype up the thing, but you hyping up the thing too much.
Yes, well, no, I have to do that because a lot of time we want to big up people after they're gone from the earth. I'm a historian, you know what I mean? I'm a historian. I wrote a book about history, so I'm very aware of what's happening around me in my settings and the history that's being made, which is why when I saw this brethren put up the conference, save the date, I reached out to the brethren and said, brethren, I want to be a part of this, you know what I mean, right away, because I knew it was historical. Because of the work you're doing. The beautiful thing about this being your second time, we don't have to go into your background, not like that. We can jump straight into the topic. What inspired you? Well, first of all, for those who are not familiar, what is I Never Knew TV? What is kind of the mission, the motto, and your aim and objective with the YouTube platform?
The vibe with I Never Knew TV is just alternative propaganda fire. We're really hit in numerous ways with something that's not beneficial. So within the space that I have and what we're capable of doing, we just try to put out a propaganda that is actually beneficial to you, uplifting, inspiring, encouraging, makes you think, make you question what you learn, as well as highlighting the brilliant voices in our community that don't get a chance to share their information and show their brilliance on a grand scale.
Give thanks. And we talked about it in the first episode, so I'm not going to get too much into the history of the channel and what it took for you to build such a massive platform. Where you are, I think when we did our first interview, you were at probably 300,000 subscribers. You've more than doubled that at this point. Are you happy with the growth? Do you want to grow faster? You know, where are you in terms of just the overall direction of the channel?
Now, if we're not really on the numbers thing too tough. We're trying to more get off YouTube. Tell you the truth.
Okay.
Well, we had a private discussion. It's more have a
Yes. Yeah.
paywall.
Talk about it.
Yeah. So the plan moving forward in the future is to be off YouTube. Those who want to support will have to pay to support because there are too much restrictions on YouTube. Censorship is at a level that I don't think people fully understand. They don't understand how modified the information that they get. And what I find disturbing is that even if you have a message that's not, I don't know, I know, controversy is relative in regards to the person, but
Yes.
I've seen videos with a literally a kid, a 7-year-old talking about murdering people and having sex with people, and the videos there is playing. I can put up a video about reducing high blood pressure, and they're sending me nasty letters.
Wow. And I want you to stress this because all of us as content creators that are conscious have to come across as my channel got a strike, you know, because of somebody saying something about vaccine that I think is true. I don't see no problem with it, and we got struck for it. So that's one of the things that we talk about offline in terms of making sure you have an ecosystem that's not over reliant on YouTube. Yes, I'm happy that the YouTube is growing, but these are really funnels to bring people into your own spaces. You know what I mean? That you have more control over. Speak about some of the guests that you've had. For those who are not familiar, that have, you know, got you in conflict with the censorship.
Oh, I guess I guess that got me in conflict with the censorship. Is like Rizza Islam,
That's a big name that people should know. Yeah,
Dr. Umar. Believe it or not,
yeah,
you know, because we burn the fire a little hotter when he come this side of town. It's not too comical, you know.
yeah,
That one, and just Angela Stanton King,
yeah, yeah,
Dr. Reese Latham,
yeah. So
certain comments from Judge Joe Brown, Ben Food there in Ghana.
okay,
I had to cut most of that interview down. And it's wild. He wasn't saying nothing crazy. It's just like, you know, I go already. But little stuff.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's the most random stuff, man. It's the stuff you don't even expect, you know. And it is what it is. But the thing is, not our platform. So until
Yeah.
we can't really say much, you know.
And we preach self-reliance over here. And as a content creator, you know, you go through, because over time you get these strikes, you begin to realize what's going to get hit. So a lot of the stuff is not the pure information that we want to give to the people, because it's being, you know, we're self-censoring to avoid the headache of going through the strike process, appeal process, potentially getting your channel taken down. You know, and we don't have the analytics to all the people who are watching. You know, we have general analytics, but we don't have the emails and all of these things that we need to have that direct to consumer relationship. So I know you're moving in that direction, and we're going to help as much as we can over here. And I always tell the Lion Pride, go support the content creator, spend some money with the brethren. You know what I mean? So definitely. But the reason that we're here is that you have evolved, and I know this is even part of the diversification in terms of the product offering. You know what I mean? From online, you're moving into a face-to-face conference. And when you reached out, you know, for advisement, the brethren knew I do Jamaica Music Conference, and he reached out and we reached, and I was like a no-brainer. But what was your thinking in terms of evolving from the digital platform to the conference face-to-face?
Well, that was always part of the mission in regards to doing events.
Okay.
What I learned more and more is that different type of events. You have big events like this, and you have more intimate events, what you would call like a class or a session for adults and children. But this is just part of the mission in regards to expanding the brand. It's not just a YouTube channel. We have access to all these great minds that we had great conversations with. due to how we conduct ourselves, they respect us and they're willing to work with us. So we just bring them all together and present information, to people, and bring them also to it's a nice gathering too, because you're able to be in an environment with like-minded people. And I feel it's a great building tool for a lot of people too. Gives them encouragement, give them that inspiration that they need to move to a higher level of consciousness and get encouragement to apply the things they've been learning and the information they've been gathering.
And you have a very unique mix of panelists, a big Trinity Mota, Styles P, Nori Muhammad. How did you land on those three, based on the thousands of thought leaders that you have interviewed? How did you land on those three? I don't think they've ever shared a platform together.
No, never. And I know people feel away because they weren't invited. It wasn't nothing personal, Fire. I just try to bring in the greatest level of diversity I could, and I think I was able to do that because Muda, first of all, Fire, Muda, man, don't really, So just to get Muda up here, he's been a great inspiration for me too. So
yes, sir.
Muda, Reach, I'm so glad he came. Nori Muhammad, a student minister to Louis Farrakhan, Nation of Islam, Styles P, in the hip hop realm, and that. Because what I notice is that, and what I observe is that we're so segregated all aspects of the culture, whether it's toxic or consciousness. And I felt that I was able to do it on the channel to bring people from all backgrounds, all ideologies. So I said, let's try to do it in person. And we just give thanks that people came, because even you're another dear Rastafari brethren, Lawrence Ige is a Christian brethren, Dr. Dorothy, she's from Baltimore. She's a therapist. So everything has that diverse background, and hopefully it encourages people to work with people who, necessarily don't share all the same beliefs, but we can still work together for the bigger mission,
And what I love about it is all of the topics relate to kind of healing.
Facts.
In terms of the sore spots in our community. You know what I mean? What was that process in terms of selecting the panels that you wanted to hear? And tell us, what are some of the panels?
Well, the panels are, I apologize.
No problem.
All right. So I know the panels are, Muda Brook is going to speak about being your true self and overcoming adversity. And I think he's the greatest person to speak about that, right?
Yes.
Nuri Muhammad is going to speak about marriage, though I may change the topic. I have to talk to him. We have sessions or breakout rooms they refer to. Dr. Dorothy Holly is doing mental health. Midwife Asasi obviously is speaking about pregnancy and health during pregnancy. Deborah Hines, which is my wife, she's doing a session on scheduling your nutrition and your exercising. I think when that one occurred is because what I noticed is that people start something they don't finish, and it's a critique, but the critique is wrong because they didn't learn how to actually schedule stuff, how to stick with stuff. And sometimes the schedule that they make, you can't stick to it. So you've already lost. It's not realistic. So you've already lost in there. It becomes discouraging to you and you quit. Let's create something that's realistic, that's sustainable. It's all about sustainability. Your panel, you, Lawrence Aja, Dr. Dorothy, are speaking about something that's very important, the vetting process of a mate, which is extremely important. We always talk about discipline and talk about all these things, but how do you vet to get a mate and heighten the probability of this being a long-term relationship? Also, what are things that we can do to keep the marriage strong when things are kind of rough and you're in that rough patch? How do you get through that rough patch in the marriage without jumping ship? Styles P, who is a great example of transformation. What do you say? He's a gangster and a gentleman.
Yes.
Talking about the importance of mental health and physical health. What I noticed with the brothers, if they actually get to health, the total focus is on physical health. And what I learned is that my physical health hasn't reached its heights until my mental health got together.
That's it.
So we can't leave out that aspect. So I believe that sums up all the presenters and panels.
So all of the big panelists are going to be having a separate presentation. They're not going to be on a panel together.
No. You'll be the only large panel, the longest panel on marriage, because We speak about like a lot of crisis in our community, but marriage is the highest crisis. You know, we
Okay.
need strong marriages. We can't do anything, no nation building, no anything without strong marriages. And to start with that, we don't. A lot of people don't have access to elders that kind of filter out certain things. So we have to provide as much information as we can, and hopefully people could apply it of the vetting process of getting to meet.
And if you notice, you know, it's mostly poor people and those who are in the lower end of the economic spectrum that are doing away with marriage. The wealthy always are getting married,
Facts.
and we see, you know, most of the multinational companies, you know, it's really families that are running the world, you know, behind the scenes that have majority stakes in these companies. When you peel back the layers, you know what I mean? These are families, generational wealth, you know, and they have infrastructure to make sure that that money stays within that wealth class. So we gotta really understand the power of marriage. In terms of some of the other things, will there be vendors there? What's the environment? What are you hoping for? You know?
Well, there's no vendors this year because due to the way the schedule sets,
Okay,
I felt it would be kind of irresponsible for me to take money from vendors because I can't promise that they'll get a certain amount of walkthrough time. So I just
okay,
paused on that. Yourself and other presenters will be selling products if they choose to.
okay.
Food will be provided. Breakfast and lunch is provided,
I
courtesy of
saw that.
John's Ito Kitchen.
Who's catering? Who's catering? Because you know
Let
my
me, let me
time.
say their proper name first. Chef Michael Gordon, who we refer to as Jamikes, right?
Okay,
Or Chef Mikey, Ito Kitchen, their family, straight from Brooklyn. Same place we do the Bald Head and the Dread live reasons, that same chef.
okay.
Ito Kitchen, Vito Shop. So he'll be providing breakfast and lunch will be provided. We're doing a mixer the night before for those who have tickets. We send an email for RSVP for people to socialize. But more than anything, man, people are very isolated. People are very lonely, and I'm hoping, along with the information that they attain, that they're able to gain some relationships with like-minded people that they can
Crucial.
create, yeah, support system. Because what I notice is that when your consciousness starts to shift, it gets kind of lonely. You know, you get kind of isolated because you don't have access to people within your ecosystem. And hopefully, this event can create a space for people to expand their ecosystem and build with people long term.
Okay, and I know Philly is gonna be there, and know Jersey. Have you gotten any sounds from people who are flying in for this?
Yeah, yeah. People,
Jersey, people
so
flying for.
Virginia, just DC, Virginia, Boston. A
Okay,
person reached out from Ohio, but that's it. Like the Boston, the Connecticut's, your New York, that sound people been
big
coming out.
thanks. This is big, and this is gonna get bigger and bigger. And as someone who has done a conference, I can tell everybody in the beginning of a conference, that's the best time to go because everything is more accessible. The panelists are going to be more accessible. When the conference gets massive, it gets unwieldy and it's hard to access people, get time to talk to people. So I would recommend, if you haven't got your ticket, that you buy your ticket immediately. If you're in the tri-state, if you're in DMV, if you are anywhere in the circumference, particularly if you can drive, you need to be in the building. We'll be there. Lion Voice Network. I'll have the Haile Selassie Ethiopia available, signed copies. The whole Bansu family is coming. The youths are excited. You know what I mean? So we are prepared. But what are you mentioned the network? What are some of the outcomes? And talk to us about the overall value. You know, if I'm a thug, you know what I mean? If a daughter is a stripper and she's looking, is it going to be over their head? You know what?
No, I think it's the best place to be because I will say this: the people who are presenting, um, they're brilliant at presenting, and they do a great job of meeting people where they are. I don't think it's going to be too intellectual. It's like real people that's still connected with real people, and they have that energy. So I don't think anyone will feel like down, anyone will feel kind of out of place. I feel they will feel very comfortable. They'll feel a lot of love, and how would I say this? I think it's a good start. I think it's a good start if you're trying to change your life because there's so many things we touch on. obviously we touch on the mental health, we touch on the physical health, we touch on the spiritual health. You know, if you're not pregnant, if you are pregnant, if you think about pregnancy, you get a lot of information in there. I think Muda Baruka, listen to Muda Baruka will be a great thing because he's the epitome of being your true self. And that's why I was so glad that he came, because I reached out to him, you know, I was concerned because he wasn't interested, you know, and it is what it is. He's older, and travel this and that, but give thanks that he came around, because I feel that
And them man, they don't wear shoes to this
don't
day.
wear shoes to this day. And if you think I'm lying, guarantee he won't have shoes on there. And he's been tried in that lifestyle for over 4 decades,
Yes.
unwavering. That man has experienced a lot